Hi dear students, let's talk about the spoilage of sugar-based products, and now today we have honey, which is another sugar-based product. Honey is used widely throughout the food industry in products such as condiments, salad dressings, barbecue sauce, peanut butter, dairy products, meats, beverages, snacks, bread, cereal products, as well as in candy. And the composition of honey is mainly being influenced by the composition of the nectar which is being harvested by bees. But generally speaking, honey can contain about 15 to 21% of water, 30 to 35% of glucose, and 35 to 45% of fructose, 1 to 3% of sucrose, 10 to 12% of maltose, organic acids, minerals, proteins, amino acids, as well as enzymes. And the water activity of honey will range between 0.45 to 0.75. So if you go to look into the composition of honey, you can see that there is water, there is glucose, and there are lots of other sugars which are being present. And all these sugars would normally favor the growth of microbes within it. But of course, we also do know that sometimes we use honey as a medical agent. That is, it has some medicinal properties, and even there are some studies saying that honey will inhibit the growth of microbes also. But you can never forget that because there is a presence of high amount of sugars, it is also a source of microbial spoilage. So now we are going to explore into the details of microbial spoilage of honey. If you go to look into honey, a very good range of microbes can grow in it. If you go to consider bacteria, you can have Bacillus, Bactericidum, Bacterium, Brevibacterium, Clostridium, Enterobacter, Klebsiella, Micrococcus, Proteus, Pseudomonas, Xanthomonas, like that different types of bacteria are capable of growing in the honey. As well as coming to the fungi, you have the yeast as well as the molds. You can find Saccharomyces, Specia, Lipomyces, Hansnella, all these yeasts, Debromyces, Torula, Torulopsis, Zygosaccharomyces, all such yeasts can also grow into the honey. Coming to molds, we have a yet long list of Aspergillus, Atetia, Baetzia, Cephalosporium, Cornutetium, Penicillium, Peyronielia, Tryposporium, etc. So, but how do we have to? So, because there is a good source of sugar as well as there is water over here, the growth of microbes could be present in the honey, and that would always probably lead to the spoilage of honey. The microorganisms of primary concern to the honey industry are usually osmophilic yeasts, that is water-loving yeasts. They can grow and cause the spoilage, as well as you can also find Clostridium botulinum types A and B, which are mainly being associated with infant botulism, as well as you can also find Bacillus lava, which causes the foul brood or the American plague disease of the bees. So the chances of contamination of honey mainly includes from the bees, as well as various other from the air it could come. So mainly three main organisms are the most primary concern for the honey industry, as we mentioned, Clostridium botulinum, as well as Bacillus species which can come, as well as we also have some osmophilic yeasts, as we mentioned earlier in the previous slide. So the sporadic contamination of the honey by Clostridium botulinum, that is not preventable because that could happen, and normally the conditions used to process honey will not inactivate these bacterial spores also. So the way that we can prevent the contamination or control the contamination of honey is properly by sterilizing of diluted honey, which is the only effective control treatment which is possible. So sometimes if we say that the honey might contain water, mainly because in order to sterilize the honey, we need to, because you know honey is a very viscous fluid, and so this penetration of the steam into it is not that effective. So just like every other viscous fluid, the penetration of water into the honey is not or the sterilization using a moist sheet would not be that effective. So the chance of sterilizing honey is available when we sterilize it by after diluting the honey, and that has been found to be an effective control treatment, because the other normal methods which will not help us to prevent us from Clostridium botulinum infestation. And there are also instances in which the infants could get infant botulism if they are being given honey which is not be properly processed. Now, how do we control the honey spoilage? Yeast and molds can survive in honey, and yeast may grow. And some vegetative and the spore forming bacteria can survive in honey for varying periods of time under certain conditions, but no bacteria are known to grow in honey for a long time. Okay, like for a limited time it can grow, but it will be arrested somehow. This is mainly because honey contains an intrinsic antimicrobial factor that can inhibit the growth of bacteria. Avoiding the introduction of moisture maintains the shelf stability of honey, and it is important to limit the post-process contamination of honey also. And of course, the best honey that we have is a raw honey which is not being exposed to water or to any moisture. But when you're going to consider with a large scale production of honey in an industrial level, the chances, of course, you are not always getting a pure honey. And in such cases, because that would always be diluted with some water, and in such cases you should limit the post-process contamination of the honey, and the processing equipment that could come into contact with the honey should be cleaned and sanitized effectively, and the production environment must be maintained under conditions that will limit the introduction of microorganisms into the product. So as we previously explained, in all the sugary products, the equipments which are being used for the processing of honey should be sanitized, and they should be cleansed effectively so that they would minimize the microorganisms infiltration into the honey. Now, there are some microbiological specifications which have been provided for honey, which has been used in the food industry. This is, you can see this is a CFU or the MPN, the most probable number of organisms which could be present in per gram, and you can see that just like MPN of water, MPN of the food of honey is also being explained over here. You can see that according to the standard plate count, it could be just 1000, that is a different components. Now this is adapted from the Snowdon and Cliver in 1996, and the coliforms should be 10 maximum. Then you have it should be E. coli, it should be negative, and yeast should be 100, and as well as the molds should be 100. Okay, they are given what has been, that is the microbiological specifications of different organisms that could be present in the case of honey in a food industry. Hope so this is clear to you right now, and keep in your mind, sugar is a good source for the growth of microbes, and the best way to prevent the spoilage of sugary based components is to prevent the growth of the microbes, or to limit or to inactivate them, and all the equipments that are being used for the processing of sugary based substances should be cleaned and sanitized so that the minimum amount of microbes could infiltrate into the or penetrate into the sugary substance and contaminate them. Hope so this is clear to you. Thank you for now, students.